إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. Amma ba'd. We come to the naqid number 9, at-tasi', the one before the last one, and we'll complete the book, inshallah, before the blessed month of Ramadan. And it is the nullifier of someone believing that someone else's Shari'ah is permissible to be followed along with or other than Rassulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If anybody believes that it's permissible to follow the Shari'ah of Isa or Musa salawatullahi wassalamu alayhima, along with or instead of the Shari'ah or the deen of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they go outside of Islam by the ijma' and the ittifaq of the ulama of Islam. This is known bid-durura from al-Islam, by necessity. Everybody knows this. It's something that it cannot possibly be not known. Persons are not going to be jahil about that. The reason why the Shaykh is bringing this is something that some people of Sufism do. And it is a bid'ah that is mukaffira. It is the bid'ah that takes you outside of the religion. So the bid'ah of the mawlid does not take you outside of the religion of al-Islam. The bid'ah of wiping your face after every prayer, shaking hands after every prayer, the bid'ah of the tasbih, the beads, they don't take you outside of Islam. But this bid'ah of the Sufi people who believe that it's permissible for their sheikhs to do things in contradiction to what the Prophet brought, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they make a badil. They leave Rasulullah's Shari'ah and they do things on their own. And they give as a dalil of the permissibility of that, and the Sheikh mentioned it, is someone believes that Musa and Khidr, that Khidr went outside of the Shari'ah of Musa in that whole story. Musa didn't know the answers to many of the things that Khidr was doing, because Khidr, he had what they call the knowledge al-haqiqi, real knowledge. And Musa had the Shari'ah of knowledge, the Shari'ah of ilm. So they say that the sheikhs have the ilm al-haqiqi. They call their sheikh the arif or the muhaqqiq. And they believe that the sheikh is taken directly from Allah, which is kufrun billah. Kufrun billah. So the sheikh doesn't have to fast. He doesn't have to pray. His wife doesn't have to wear hijab. He can do whatever he wants, and then he'll claim that this thing that he's doing is because he has true, pristine knowledge between him and Allah. Anyone who believes that and he thinks that, this is kufr, goes outside of the religion. And that is for a number of reasons. Number one, Allah made it clear in the Quran, Inna ad-deen indallahi al-Islamu. The religion with Allah is only Islam. It's not Judaism, it's not Christianity, and it's not what the Shaykh is doing and bringing. Islam is known. What is Islam? Ya Rasulullah, Jibril said to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told him to do the shahadatain, the salat, the zakat, the som, and the hajj. That's Islam. And that's the religion with Allah. He mentioned in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Anyone who chooses other than al-Islam as his deen, it will never be accepted from him. And he will be from those who are losers, of those who are the losers. That's the first thing. Allah negated that he's going to accept any religion other than what the Prophet brought, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second thing is that the Shari'ah and the deen of Rassulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is general, is am. His Shari'ah is amma, his deen is am. His religion, yashmal, it includes the human beings, all of them. It includes all of the jinn. It includes the Arabs and the non-Arabs. No other prophet, no other Nabi had this quality and this characteristic other than the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the only religion that is like that. And there are too many ayats. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ جَمِيعًا. Tell them, people, all you people, I am the messenger of Allah to all of you. تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان على عبده ليكون للعالمين نذيرا. Glory unto Allah who has revealed the Furqan, the Quran, on his slave sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so that he can be a warner to all of the people. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. You are a rahmah to all of the people, everybody. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفْرٌ مِنَ الْجِنِّ إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا. The jinn accept al-Islam. So he was sent to the thaqalain, human beings, and he was sent to mankind. He mentioned sallallahu alayhi wasallam in a lot of hadith, but one of those main hadith, it's important that we understand this hadith as Muslims. He said that there is no Jew and no Christian who hears about me, and he swore by Allah, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ. No Yahudi and no Nasrani hears about me, and then he doesn't believe in what I brought, except that he will enter into the hellfire. So after the Nabi came, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of the human beings after him, all of them are going to be judged based upon the book that he brought and the religion that he brought, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this hadith, he said in the hadith, there is no one from this ummah, a Jew or a Christian, and he put the Jews and the Christians in this ummah. I know quite a few people, especially from my people, from the American Muslim Mission, Warith ad-Din Muhammad, rahimahullahu ta'ala, wa ghafarallahu lil jami'. They use this hadith and they use the ayat of the Quran that Allah Ta'ala mentioned that those people who believe in الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا النَّصَارَى وَالصَّابِئِينَ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَيَوْمَ الْآخِرِ وَعَمِلَ عَمْلًا صَالِحًا. They use that to show that the Jews and the Christians are our brothers. It doesn't mean that when he said that there is no Jew or no Christian min hadhihi al-ummah, from this ummah, that means that his ummah is split up into two groups. Important. The first group is the ummah of the dawah that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave dawah. His religion is dawah for every human being after he came to this earth. The ummah of a dawah, including the Jews, the Christians, the Sikhs, the Hindus, everybody who came after him. They're from his ummah, the ummah of a dawah. But you have the other ummah, and they are us, the people who believed in him. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah cause us all to die on al-Iman and al-Yaqeen. And that's the ummah of al-Istijaba. Those people who believe in him are the people who embrace the dawah and accept. So we're from his ummah, the ummah of al-Iman, of faith, inshallah. So that's an indication, the proof that the Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been sent to everybody. His dawah, his religion, his Shari'ah is for everybody. No other prophet, and that's from his khasa'is. And there are a lot of ayat concerning that, like a hadith. Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ لِلنَّاسِ وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ لِلنَّاسِ وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِلَّا رَسُولًا وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. We sent you to the people, Ya Muhammad, as a messenger, all of the people. And Allah is enough as a witness. A number of those hadith we want to share with you, Ikhwani, and there are a lot, like the one we just mentioned. He said there are 5 things that I've been given. No other prophet was given those things. It's from his special qualities. Another hadith says 6 things that he fuddiltu ala nas bi sitt. He was given 6 things. Allah gave him, He gave these 6 things only to him. Only the tafdeel. Allah put him over everybody in these 6. One hadith 5, one 6. And in both of them it's mentioned that a prophet in the past, kana nabi yub'ath ila qawmihi khassa wa bu'ithtu ila nasi amma. The prophet before me was sent to his people, specifically to his people, just to his people. But I have been sent to all of the people, all of the people. So it's not permissible for anybody to go outside of his Shari'ah. And there are quite a few ahadith. I think most of them, we've mentioned them at some point or another. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, said that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam drew a long line for them, and he said that this is the sirat of Allah, and then he drew subsequent lines on that line, and he said these are the subul ala ra'si kulli sabilin minha shaytanun yad'u ilayha. Each one of these ones is a shortcut. Shaitan is calling to the people. So if anybody forsook the long, to forsake the long line, he made a long straight line. He said, this is my sirat. And over here are short divergent lines. Anyone follows other than this straight line and he goes to this, then he's going to go astray. And then he read the ayah to the people, أَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا السُّبُلَ فَتَفَرَّقَ بِكُم مَّن سَبِيلِهِ. He read that ayah after doing this illustration. He said, this is the straight line. Don't follow these other ways, follow the way of Allah. If you follow these other ways, they are going to lead you astray from Allah. So when the Sufi people come, and they're not the only ones who go overboard in this issue, the people of Tashayyur do the same thing. They believe that Ayatollah Khomeini and their other imams, the 12 imams, that they have a position that's higher than the prophets and the messengers outside of Islam. You're non-Muslim. Now, I always say we have to be careful of making takfir of people wholesale. We don't make any taraddud, any tahaffuz concerning their ulama outside of the religion. But their awam are just like the Muslims who have those understanding and those beliefs of Brewiyah. They have those understanding and those beliefs of some of the Turuq al-Sufiyah that's astray from a Tijaniya, and other than that, Naqshbandiya. Those people have things that they believe in that are disbelief. But does everyone become a non-Muslim? I say, hey, we're not going to get into that. Everybody has to sit these people down and give them dawah. But I know people believe in this stuff with yaqeen according to them. So concerning the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he made it clear that it's not permissible for anyone to choose other than his way. And this issue happened with the Amir al-Mu'mineen Faruq during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah be pleased with Umar. When Umar had some pages and Umar had some pages and he was reading some pages, the Nabi asked him, what are those pages? He said, I got it from a Jew, my neighbor. I was just reading just to see, what they were saying. And he asked him, are you weak now? Are you in doubt? Mutahawwikuna, ya ibn al-Khattab? Are you people weak now? You in doubt? He said, do not take from them. And then something comes to you that is truthful from them and you reject it. Or something comes to you that is batil from them and you accept it. He said, لَقَدْ جِئْتُ بِهَا إِلَيْكُمْ نَقِيًّا بَيْضَاء. I brought this religion and it is clear. And then he swore by Allah. He said, I swear by Allah, if my brother Musa came and you people left me and you followed Musa, you're going to go astray. You're going to go way, way astray. And Musa is from the 5 major messengers in the Kalim of Allah. Everybody knows his story. What about the Sufi Sheikh? The Sufi Sheikh who doesn't know much about the religion of Al-Islam except khurafat and innovation and shirkiyat. If you followed Musa and he was divinely inspired by Allah, you're going to go astray. So there are a number of hadith a number of ayat that make this issue from the dururiyat of al-Islam, that the Muslim has to know it. In addition to that, Allah is only going to accept al-Islam. Also, we have ayat that tell us a hadith, Rassulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was sent to all of the people, he's the only one. And also in addition to that, he is the seal. He was the one who came and stamped that all of the nabuwah, all of that stuff is finished with him and his religion, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Walakin Rasulullahi wa khatam al-nabiyyin. He is the messenger of Allah. He's not the father of any evil. He is the Rasul of Allah and the seal of all the prophets. Allah sent to every group of people, لَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا. Every ummah got the message, but he came to them and he was from them. But Rasulullah came to all of the ummah after him, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. So he's a khatam, no one else. He's the stamp, no one else after that. So what the Shaykh is saying, rahmatullah alayhi, as we mentioned, the people of As-Sufiya, because they use the story of Khidr in the Quran and in the authentic Sunnah. The people of Tashayyu', they also do this. And then we have these Qadianis, the Ahmadiyas, non-Muslims outside of the fold of Islam. The Ismailiyin, those people who just chose their Aga Khan, non-Muslims, because of the many things that they say that go against what the Quran is saying in the authentic Sunnah, like their Aga Khan is the one who stands. He's the Khatam. He's the one. What are you talking about? Rasulullah Muhammad is that individual. And in addition to that, those 3-4 things, is that the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his book and his religion came and it abrogated everything that went before us. Abrogated. وَلَا نَنْسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا نَأْتِ بِخَيْرٍ مِنْهَا أَوْ مِثْلِهَا أَلَا تَعْلَمْ أَلَمْ تَعْلَمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Allah abrogates what he wants to abrogate in this Quran, and he abrogates what he wants to abrogate from the books that went before. All of them were the kalam of Allah. All of them had ahkam, rules from Allah. This religion, this book came and abrogated and made this Quran muhaymin over all of those other books, and the da'wah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam muhaymina. What is muhaymin? Now, to be dominant, to overpower. I think it's a better word because we don't want to say dominant like that. But the Quran came and it supersedes every other book, every other legislation. All of those issues are the proofs that it's not permissible for someone to replace Rasulullah's Shari'ah and his religion, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or to put them together. His Shari'ah with someone else, and you say you're going to follow that, the way Khidr did with Musa. As it relates to Khidr and Musa, there's ikhtilaf between the ulama of Islam. Was Khidr a Nabi, or was he a wali from the awliya of Allah? The strongest opinion is Sha'Allah. And we have to respect ikhtilaf. And I say to you again, like I said before, whenever we're in a community with people, we should do what the community does, as long as they're not doing haram. So if we're in the community with that community, they get mad and upset if you say Ameen, then don't say Ameen. This is going to just make trouble, make problems. Don't do it. Don't do it until you can educate those people. Similar to that, people should, when they come to our community, the people, they should do certain things as well. They should do certain things. So it goes both ways, this issue. But I'm mentioning this because the ikhtilaf between the people. We're not going to get upset for those people who said that Khidr was a wali from the awliya of Allah. We're not going to get upset and say, nah, wallah, he was a nabi. Because both sides have their proofs. But for Musa, having the position that he has in Islam, going out looking for someone, and he said to him, I looked for you and I came to you to learn from what you have. Musa and his position from qiyas, not only qiyas, but how is it that he's going to go look for someone who's much younger than him or much lower than him? He's a Rasul, he's a Nabi from the Ulul Azam, who's mentioned in the Quran more than anybody else. And he's going to go to a wali, although the wali has a big position, Khidr, he has a big position. But Musa's position is so much bigger. And then the door and the bab of knowledge is very important. Very, very, very important. Although Musa was who he was, he still wanted to get knowledge. He still wanted to get knowledge. The scholars of Islam said that you will never amount to anything in knowledge, Akhi Shu'aib Hanif. Ummah. You will never amount to anything in knowledge, Jasim. No, you won't amount until you see that you have to take knowledge, obviously, from those who are more knowledgeable than you. That's basic and fundamental. Whether it's the Quran, whether it's Hadith, whether it's the language, whatever it is, got to take from those higher than you. And you take from those who are similar to you. So the students of knowledge of the past and the scholars who were similar, they used to make al-mudhakara and they would study stuff together. The hadith that they wrote down and the things that they learned, the things that they wrote down, they would study that together from their contemporaries until you take knowledge from those who are lesser than you. Now, I'm not being stereotypical, but a lot of times the wife knows less than the husband. A lot of times. That's the general situation. That's the ghalib, most of the time. So if his wife tells him the truth, non-Muslim tells him the truth, and it is the truth, we take that from that individual. Take that from the individual. So here's Khidr going, learning from and asking someone who has information that he doesn't have. And like those scholars said, that ayat in the Quran, Rabbi Zidni ilma, oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Allah never told the Nabi of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to make dua for a ziyada of anything. Allah never told him to ask him for an increase other than knowledge. That's the only ziyada. So anyway, in that story is a big benefit, that aspect of the story. The last thing that we want to mention was a statement of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, when he said, in the meaning of his kalam, it is ijma' between the scholars of al-Islam that if anyone comes and says that khamr is halal to drink, or that zina is permissible, and he makes it halal to commit zina, or murdering his parents is halal, it's permissible. For a man to murder his parents, just for no reason, it's permissible. Halal, their blood is halal. You can kill them and there's no sin. He said this is ijma, no doubt about that. The Bedouin knows that. The brand new Muslim knows that. The one who embraced Islam and he's from China, wherever, he's from Puerto Rico, Colombia, South America, he knows that. He said, Ibn Taymiyyah, that the scholars of Islam have ijma on that issue. Is it conceivable? Is it ma'qul? Something like that is known, but someone thinks it's permissible for him to follow someone else other than the Nabi of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That mas'ala, that issue is older, is more clearer. That is haram to think about that. I know Jamal, I know people coming into Islam who used to say that weed is a natural plant. The hemp is natural. And when you smoke it, it opens up parts of your intellect and your spirit where you can make connection with the spirits on high. I know people who said that. I know people who do that. And not just in Jamaica, not just Jamaican Muslims and ganja. I know people who believe that. And they were not trying to make haram halal. I believe they were making it tala'ub. They just didn't want to give up weed and they said that stuff. But they didn't say it trying to make it halal in that way. They were just people who were making ma'asiyah because they wanted to do that thing. So that you'll find that's something that everybody knows. and then it's ambiguous, you are can choose a Shari'ah and a person to follow indiscriminately other than Rassulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, that's even clearer than making these other things haram. So if someone does this, he goes outside of al-Islam. But again, we want to repeat and we want to reiterate, as we mentioned, for each one of these naqid from the 9 nawaqid that we have, we have to be careful of pronouncing takfir on people just because we read this one or that one and they're falling into it. And just like that, we pronounce takfir on them. I would advise that we don't do that. There are some people you can do that to, and for, because it's clear what they're saying. Like the Qadianis, don't hesitate. Are they Muslims? Don't hesitate in that. They have too many things that they're saying and they're doing that put them outside of the religion. Too many. Not 1, 2, 3, 4 major things. But there are some people from this ummah who are extremely ignorant, and they grew up on that tasawwuf, and they thought and they think that this is the religion. And as a result of that, we say they have an excuse, inshallah, until the iqamat of the hujjah. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us all al-hidayah and al-thabat and help us to have this clear in our heads. The Nabi of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not Abu Bakr, not Umar, not Uthman, not Ali, not anyone from Ahl al-Bayt, Hassan or Hussein or anyone other than them. May Allah be pleased with all of those companions. The Nabi of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the only one that Allah mentioned about him. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ. It's another dalil. You have in him a perfect example. He's ma'asum, perfect example. And Allah is a'la and a'lam. If you have any questions about today's lecture, about this lecture today, you can put your question forward, inshallah.